Well, I was getting teary-eyed over the can opener. I was laughing so hard. But
can opener before the can opener.
We've got something serious though. Yeah. We have a tornado watch.
Okay. Yes. So
for parts of the area, right?
Correct. You might have noticed the red bar on the bottom of your screen if you're watching us here on WHAS 11. We do have a tornado watch for our northern tier of counties. Now, the reason not everybody is included in this just yet is because that northern tier is under the National Weather Service Indianapolis office. So the National Weather Service Louisville basically covers the rest.
Do you think it'll be expanded down here as many times it does?
Yes, I do believe so. It'll just be probably in the next couple of hours, just because we're not going to see activity here for a bit. But let's take you to that map here, and you'll see that northern tier of counties. So Bedford over to Seymour. This is once again Lawrence, Jackson, and Jennings counties. This has been put into place until 1 o'clock in the morning. So this will be the first area that does get impacted. And I do think if you live in this area, Bedford over to Seymour, once again, Jackson, Jennings counties, that you could get clipped by some of these storms a little bit earlier than the rest of us. So I would say if you're in our northern tier, just be weather alert really starting around sunset or thereafter, taking us through about midnight. The rest of us, it's going to take a little bit more time for that weather to move our direction, especially if you live closer to the river, if you're here in Louisville and areas down to the south. But the threats that we're looking at, gusty winds, definitely the greatest threat across the board. I did nudge up flooding because we are under a flood watch, and we could be seeing some training of storms, some heavy rainfall at times, some impressive rainfall rates. But tornadoes is also a little bit higher than we would typically see with maybe one of these setups. We have a lot of shear to work with. That's a lot of wind energy. So we definitely have to take that seriously. Hail for us is definitely on the lower end of things, though. You typically see that more with supercells, and that's what we're seeing off to our northwest this evening before it turns into more of a linear segment for us later on tonight. Anytime you see a line of storms, heavy rain, gusty winds, greatest threat, and then you're talking embedded tornadoes after that. So here's the flood watch I was mentioning. It got put into effect around the 64 corridor in areas off to the north from 9 o'clock this evening through 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. The first wave that we've been tracking since the 4 o'clock hour basically fizzled at this point. So we've been seeing some dark skies. If you're south of the river, if you're north of the river, you maybe got a couple of showers this afternoon, heard a few rumbles of thunder at times, but now that is dissipating and we're seeing a few peaks of sunshine, which we certainly never like to see on a severe weather day. But take a look at what's off to our north and west. This is all of the activity that we will be monitoring over the next few hours, seeing the movement of it, whether or not we need to move up our timeline a little bit. But right now, all of that is currently cutting through Missouri and central Illinois. And for the most part, the Illinois storms, those are pushing off to the east into central Indiana eventually, and these storms are pushing down to the southeast. So as I mentioned, it's going to take time for this activity to get to our area. And by the time it does so, it'll likely be more of a line rather than these individual storms. So severe thunderstorm watch in the yellow, that is through Missouri, and then tornado watch is in that pink or reddish color. And once again, that's what we just mentioned off the top of this weather segment, that our northern tier of counties has been included. So we'll wait to see when the National Weather Service Louisville talks with the Storm Prediction Center and issues a tornado watch for the rest of our area. But we're basically in the waiting game now until after about 10 or 11 o'clock for the northern tier of counties. And then really for the rest of us, it could be after 1 to 3, maybe even 4 o'clock in the morning until we see this line. So make sure your phones are charged, make sure they're turned up loud so you can hear any alerts at night to wake you up and get you in that safe place if it's needed. This line will continue to push off to the southeast early tomorrow morning, kind of breaking apart, weakening as it does so. And then we'll wait for any kind of redevelopment of showers and storms throughout the day tomorrow before we dry out. We'll enjoy some dry time Friday and Saturday. More rain is on the way Sunday and Monday. High temperatures in the 80s, lows primarily in the 60s. And as always, you can track the radar anytime on the WHAS 11 Plus app.
More weather coverage ahead this evening from Mallory and our team. Live tracking the incoming severe weather tonight. Streaming app, WHAS 11 Plus, the place to be. That begins at 8 and then again at 10. Mallory's going to be joined by our extreme weather specialist, meteorologist John Gordon. Download the WHAS 11 Plus app on your smart TV to watch it at 8. And then, of course, tune in at 11 for the night team, an important newscast for you to see tonight before you go to bed.